Alright, this is MH4 Designs. I just wanted to, I'm going to totally redesign my whole spinner outfit. But this is like all kinds of different ways I've changed it over the time. But this, I'm completely going to change it because I figured things out. I mean, how to change it. So first, I always use the multiple motors, so I don't rely on if the motor burns out, I don't lose. I can quickly switch it to another replacement I have in my other workshop. This is my like clean room. So anyways, I keep it spaced because they get pretty warm while they're spinning. So I put the space so that the air will flow through it. Simply have a switch. And so what I've been doing, I used to use a nail. I put down like a nail strip, and I made these sleds. These just have magnets on it where I can just simply slide it back and forth to take up for the different lengths of the lures. But then I realized I can just make longer hooks and put it in here. So I don't need this nail guard anymore. And I don't really need these sleds because, like I said, I need the sled to be this here at the very end, because I can just take it up with different size S-hooks. As you can see, I have them all connected. And then once I get to the thing, I just need to move it a little bit just to take the slack out. And then I was using these to do that, but I don't need to do that if I just have I'm going to use a channel with T-nuts, and I'll build a sled from that. So I can just move it with a adjustable. That's what I'm planning on doing. So I'm going to rip all these apart. You can see I've modified these many times. Raising, lower, different. Some of them have metal, some have wood. And I found that the metal works the best because this gives just enough resistance to where the lure just won't fall as it comes around. It spins perfectly even. So, because I used to use like swivels and stuff, and the bigger gliders or lures would fall as it rotated. This just stays at a constant spin. So you can see how I've just slapped them all together. Changing them around, changing the height, because they have to be level from this motor to this. So there's no, if one's higher, then the epoxy is not going to flow. So anyways, I'm just gonna slowly. I already ripped up the other table, and I'm gonna get this one because I'm gonna build the rack right here. That's part of the rack, and I'll show you how I do that, but I just want to show you this is how the old way. I've learned a lot from doing it this way. Here you can see I use the shorter net where I started changing them around. I don't need all this wood anymore. I can use it thinner because I'm screwing it down to the shelf now. So I've learned a lot. So, but I've used these probably for the last 3 years, 4 years, 5, I don't know how long. I've changed them out, doing different things. But the motor speed, like when I do my eggs, I have a faster motor, so I can spin the epoxy, get it into the groove and everything. You can see how they're labeled egg. And I don't like the slower ones because it just takes too long when you're applying the epoxy. I like the 10 to 12 and the 6 to 5, 5 to 6, so that's what I'll be using. I'm going to rebuild all these, scrap everything out, and but this works. I'm just going to modernize it, make it a little better. Alright, I'm going to start tearing it apart.